Hey folks, Kevin the Fit Chef here with another great episode of Fit Chef TV. Today I got a real great surprise for y'all. This is going to be a great meal that's going to have you flexing on the next Taco Tuesday at your house. So today we're doing birria tacos. So I hope you're ready for this, guys. Stay tuned. All right, so the first step into making a very great birria taco is you gotta start off with a good salsa verde. So the first thing we're gonna do today is we're gonna learn how to make my version of a really good salsa verde. So back in 2020, whenever the pandemic hit, obviously Fit Chef is the name of my company. Well, we kind of lost business just like most restaurants across the country. So we ended up dropping the I and changing it to an A, and we had Fat Chef. So whenever Fat Chef came along, we ended up doing a whole bunch of burgers and wings, and one of the biggest concoctions and the most popular items that came out of that was actually these tacos, the birria tacos out of nowhere. So here's how it starts off with, all right? You're gonna start off with a sheet tray. You're gonna take about a pan of tomatillas. These are fresh tomatillas. These guys are little small little guys. They're kind of tart, kind of a little bitterness to it. So we're gonna offset that bitterness with a little bit of pineapple. So we're gonna do about a half a cup of pineapple. Then we're gonna add in roughly half a chopped onion. So a little bit of chopped onion and about 3 cloves of garlic. And then we're also gonna add in 2 serrano peppers because we do want a little bit of spice with this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut these tips off, but I'm not gonna worry about cutting the insides out because I want that spice to be in there. Obviously this is a very nice spicy dish. And so what I'm gonna do is I got the oven preset to roughly 400 degrees. We're gonna put this in there, 400 degrees, let it rock and roll, and we're gonna get it nice and roasted. What you're looking for is to have it roasted probably about 8 to 10 minutes. And in the meanwhile, while I do that, I'm gonna start prepping everything else for the sauce for the consomme and the actual meat itself. So, put the tomatillas in there for 400 degrees for about 8 minutes. In the meanwhile, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get started on our consomme. So turn on this little skillet, and what we're doing here is we're gonna add in some guajillo peppers, a little bit of chipotle pepper. We're gonna add in some onion, we're gonna add in some carrot, we're gonna add in some garlic, we're gonna add in some more of that pineapple, and we're gonna put it in this skillet right here, and we're gonna get this all nice and roasted. Once this gets nice and roasted with a little tomato paste too, some diced tomatoes, we're gonna blend it up in the blender. But the meanwhile, the prize possession, the prize piece to this whole entire dish is a nice big old chunk of chuck roast. So this is a nice chuck roast that we're gonna put together. I'm gonna cut it up in small pieces. We're gonna put it in this water right here, which is actually gonna be beef stock. We're gonna put it in there and kind of coat it to the top. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get this pan hot right quick. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil down in there. So get the oil going. We're gonna add in our peppers. You wanna throw your peppers in first. That way you can start to get kind of a good roast on them. That way those flavors, those smells really start to come out. Then you're gonna add in some onion. You're gonna add in your carrots. You hear that sizzle? That's what you wanna hear. You wanna hear a little bit of a sizzle. And our goal here is to go through and get these guys soft, tender, roasted up, feeling and looking great. There we go. I'm gonna add that garlic in there. I'm gonna add that pineapple in there, just like so. There we are. Get this guy, toss it around. Perfect. So I'm gonna let that go for a second. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna cut up this chuck roast. And you wanna cut it up into smaller, more manageable pieces. That way, whenever it's done, you can pull it out and you can chop it up into chunks. And that way, when we get ready to stuff our taco shells here, it'll be nice and chunky. There we go. Nice little small pieces and small chunks. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna throw all this into a bowl. I'm gonna season it with just salt and a little bit of pepper. So, a little bit of salt, just like this. Let me wash my hands right quick. And then I'm gonna add some pepper to it. So a little bit of pepper. So you got salt and pepper. Now I'm only seasoning the meat with just salt and pepper because we're gonna add so much flavor to this dish that we don't wanna have too much of this coming out right here. So what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna put this into this saucepan right here. And I got roughly about 2.5 to 3 cups. By the way, that's about 2 pounds of chuck roast. And I got about 2 to 3 pounds, or 2 to 3 cups of beef stock, just enough to barely cover the top. You don't want to have too much water in there, but you want just enough where the meat still may be kind of sticking out just a little bit. Get that in there. I'm gonna put this guy on high because I want to bring it to a boil. This stuff right here is cooking down. So, there we go. Meanwhile, we're gonna add in 1 pound of diced tomatoes. Now you can dice, homemade tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, or you can get a can of diced tomatoes, whatever you prefer. It all works the same. There you go, you hear that sizzle? That's that good stuff right there. Absolutely. Perfect. And then to the meat water, the broth over here with the meat, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add in 2 bay leaves. I'm gonna add in some mustard seed. I'm gonna add in some cumin, about 1 teaspoon. I'm gonna add in about 1 teaspoon of oregano. And then I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of salt. There we go, just like that. This stuff right here is getting cooked. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna also add 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, just for a little extra added tomato flavor to all of this. Perfect. So what we're gonna do now is we gotta wait for this right here to cook up and get nice and soft. That water's gonna come to a boil. As soon as the onions, the pineapple, the garlic, as soon as all this becomes nice and soft, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it into this blender. We're gonna puree it to a nice bright orange or bright red color, and then we're gonna pour it right into this, and then we're gonna let it sit and we're gonna let it cook on low for probably about a good 6 hours, so nice and tender. That's what we're looking to do, is make this meat really nice and tender so we can chop it up, stuff it into a taco, fry it up, and dip it in that salsa verde. It's about to come out. So you stay tuned, all right? I got something great coming for y'all. All right, looks like this mixture of tomato, carrots, onion, pineapple, the peppers, all this is getting really nice and soft. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. I'm gonna pull it over here to the blender, and we're gonna get ready to throw this in here, and we're gonna blend it up really nice. That water over here with the chuck roast and the other seasonings is starting to kind of come to a boil, so this is perfect time. So put this right here in front of you. There we go. That's right. Tell you what, I'm gonna hold this up like a big boy. There we are. I'm a real boy now, real chef. So we're gonna get this in here, we're gonna blend it up. Obviously, I'm not trying to cram all this in there in one. I don't want it to overflow and I don't want it to spill everywhere. So put it in here, turn it on. You might have to shake it a few times. There it goes. Tell you what, I'm gonna add a little bit more of this mixture into it. That way all that liquid's in there. Perfect. And here we are. So we're gonna let this blend up until it gets nice, silky smooth, and then it's going straight into this. We're gonna put a lid on it. Perfect. And that's what you're looking for. You want a nice, good consistency. You're gonna have this go in here. That way we can, there it is. Look at that, nice and rich. Put that in there, and we're gonna stir it around, and we're gonna let this boil for the next 6 hours. Meanwhile, I'm gonna pull those tomatillas out. I'm gonna show you how to make salsa verde next. Real quick, let's see what these guys are. Oh yeah, perfect. These are nice and roasted. Here we are. Let me clean that blender out and I'll show you how to do this part. All right, so it looks like our tomatillas and our pineapples, all that's been resting for a little while. We kind of sped things up a little bit for a little TV magic. Our chuck roast, our birria tacos, however you want to say it. I always get it confused. It's birria. From what I understand, it's like beer, eat So birria tacos. The meat over here is coming along. It's done. and I'm gonna show you real quick how we're gonna do salsa verde, and then we're gonna pull this meat out, chop it up really, fine, and then we're gonna stuff some taco shells, and we're gonna make Taco Tuesday. So check it out. You take your tomatillas, your pineapples, all this good, delicious stuff right here. You're gonna put that in there. There you are. Then you're gonna add in a squeeze of 2 limes. 2 limes going in. You want that lime juice. There we are. You're gonna add in some salt. Naturally, you gotta have salt for everything, right? So, we got lime juice going in there, we got salt, we got a little bit of cumin going in there, we got some oregano going in there, and of course, you gotta have cilantro, right? So we're gonna put about a 1/4 cup of chopped cilantro, just like that. And can't forget about the salt. Salt goes down, about 2 teaspoons, maybe a little bit more. And let's give it a whirl. There it is. That's that good stuff right there. There we are. Oh yeah, that's that good stuff right there. Oh, where are my spoons at? Here we are. Perfect. Nice, bright, vibrant. Now it's got a lot of good smells and aromas coming out of it. Ooh, that serrano pepper got a nice little heat to it. Absolutely. All right, now let's take a look at these guys over here. This meat, nice and good. Now it's gonna get a little messy here, so I gotta be careful with this one. So I'm gonna do a quick batch of this, just so y'all can show y'all how to make these tacos. So you're gonna pull the meat out. Look at that. Oh yeah, nice, dripping, tender, juicy. Strain all that extra sauce off. There it is. Get just a little bit more. There it is. Come on out of there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna save this juice, because this is technically the consomme. So when we make the tacos, of course be careful for that bay leaf in there. When we make the tacos, you can dip it in there. This keeps you nice and warm. Throw a little bit of salsa verde on there. It's absolutely phenomenal. One thing I like about this, it gives me a reason to use a meat cleaver. So that way we can go through, chop it up. Look at all that meat right there. I kind of want to taste it. You don't mind, do you? Oh man, that is absolutely phenomenal. It's smoky from the peppers. It's got that heat to it. It's rich. It's silky. All right. So, of course, naturally being the fit chef, I've had my wooden spoon. Now I got to pull out a cast iron. So, got my cast iron ready to go. And I'm gonna show you how we're gonna assemble this. All right. So we want to do kind of like a medium heat to this. We don't want to have too much going into it. We got the meat chopped right here. I got some fresh shaved mozzarella. So we got mozzarella right here, which is kind of compacted down a little bit. Let's spread that out. Then I got some corn tortillas. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna, of course, be careful for that one on top that kind of curls up, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna dip the tortilla into the consomme, go straight to the skillet with it. That way we can put our cheese in there, let that cheese start to get nice and bubbly. We'll move them around a few times. We're gonna put that meat in the middle of it. And let me tell you, this one's gonna be phenomenal right here. I just need to get this guy to get hot right quick. So this guy's getting hot. So give me just a second. As soon as the guy gets warmed up, I'll show you how to make these tacos. Cast iron skillet is nice and hot. I'm gonna go in here, dip these guys in here, put it down. There we are. I'm gonna do 3 of them right quick. Yes, indeed. Perfect. Got that. Grab this cheese. Put a nice layer of cheese. You want that cheese to really be melted in this dish. Make sure it gets a nice coating all the way around. There we are. Yes, yes, yes. This is gonna be phenomenal. I can't wait. Then you're gonna put some taco meat right there in the middle. And there we go. Don't be shy either. You want to stuff that taco as much as you can. Definitely. Perfect. Now what we ought to do is just kind of rotate it around, move those around and let them get nice and crispy. We got some more, a couple of onions. We're gonna sprinkle some of that on there. We're gonna put some cilantro right on top. There we go. Then of course, let's get a little scoop of our consomme ready. That way whenever we pull these guys off, we're ready to go to town. Look at that right there. That is a nice, thick, juicy consomme. Nice, thick, and rich. Perfect. Tell you what, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of cilantro in there. A couple of onions, just like that, right across the top. And I got a spatula. Let's move these guys around. See how they're coming. Perfect. Gotta rotate them around, and that way you get a nice even coat all the way around. Then of course, what you'll do is you'll squeeze them together and you fold them over on itself. There it is, right there. Perfect. Squeezing them in. There we are. So I'm gonna let it cook for a few minutes on each side, and then we're done. We'll be able to get these guys in our mouth in just a second. All right, these guys are getting nice and crispy on each side. Nice gooey melted cheese everywhere. I'm gonna go ahead and lay these guys on this plate right quick. I got the consomme, I got the salsa verde. I'm gonna add in a little bit extra of the cilantro across the top, like so, and some more of this right here. And then there you have it. Taco Tuesday is gonna be amazing next time. We appreciate y'all coming out today. As always, you can catch me out on Instagram and on Facebook, Kevin the Fit Chef, and be on the lookout for the cookbook I got coming out later this year. It'll have all these recipes in it. And again, guys, thank y'all for coming out and have a great day.